Fuck you. Gotta go sit down. Alright. You know what time it is. Episode 2 of a Hussar and a Viking walk into a tavern.
I think we're changing the name to Stumble into a Tavern.
Stumble into a tavern.
Because, yeah.
Literally into the wall.
Let's go.
Bros, cheers, whatever you have yet. So, we asked everybody what they wanted to have for their discussion today, and today is archaeological finds, specifically from the period of. Somebody said Viking era, but like looking at that time frame, it's like from 4000 BCE to
Yeah, it's like half of history.
half of known recorded history.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing my, but before we get into this, I am not wearing my typical armor today. I'm wearing my brand new get up and garb. Got to do a magnificent slop squat for
Slap
you.
squat, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing the same shit because that's all I got.
Oh, curva. And there goes my knife.
Then just throw that on the floor. We'll be okay.
It's all right. We don't need knives for alcohol, anyways. So.
Oh, well, in that case, I better disarm.
We'll just stop it there.
Okay.
Anyways, so I like this topic actually a lot. When I was over in Europe for the 8 years I was living there, six to 8 years, I was really interested in doing amateur archaeological and metal detecting, and I did recover many things, and I did get partake in a lot of professional digs with a lot of universities and museums and stuff like that. Really high profile ones too. I even became an archaeological diver for a university while I was out there in the Mediterranean. I got to see things most people would be excited.
Yeah.
Excited is an understatement. So this is going to be an awesome topic for me. I even brought some props for us, but we're going to go into it first. We're going to explain, I guess, archaeological finds that have been found, most recently high-profile ones at that. We'll talk about some of the ones I know off the top of my head. Most of it's been in prior than 2020 though, 2019-ish. Unfortunately, COVID, like our hobby with the SCA, has really just debilitated the archaeological side as well.
It's messed up some plans, I tell you what.
So, unfortunately, a lot of the archaeological stuff has been put on a hold for now, but I'm hoping real soon that it'll start back up, and I'll even get my chance to head out to places. I'm planning on actually going to the Pacific for World War II archaeological diving, so we'll see how that goes. But for now, kind of old school, older news, but maybe you don't know about it, so we'll explain that, and then we're going to talk about my experiences. I'm going to try to keep them involved.
I'm just here. I'm along for the ride on this one, I guess.
He's my commentator.
Yeah.
So,
you're going to hear a lot of, oh, that's neat. I know nothing about that.
But, do you know any of the I'm going to let it off with you because I'm going to see if you know any archaeological discoveries that were really high profile lately. There's been a bunch, actually.
I mean, obviously all I know is from, like, internet stuff.
Right.
I know there was the sword that was found in a lake not long ago. That was cool. I enjoyed reading that article. There was been a couple of high-profile Viking digs lately.
Yes.
A couple of Viking burials that, yeah, all sorts of cool finds in there. A lot of historical significance in these finds versus the older finds.
Right.
Like, artifacts are always cool, but how the artifacts, how they fit into real life is, like, the most recent digs have been shedding a lot more light on that, which has been really cool.
To shed more light on that, I haven't been doing most of the Viking or Scandinavian digs, unfortunately. I really wish I did get up there more often. I have a lot of friends up there. A lot of the ice, like glaciers, have been melting.
Yeah.
And a lot of extremely high profile finds, like as he just said, there's been entire longships dug out of the glaciers recently with just everything in it. We're talking
like as pristine as it can be for being that old.
Intact spears, intact pots, it's just insane.
Well, the one recently they found a Dane axe.
Right.
They were actually able to measure the haft instead of just guess on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really cool. It's either confirming or, making us rethink
what was going on that time.
Yeah.
Extremely high profile stuff. As for a little girl found that sword in the lake actually, so she is now the undeclared.
No, she is declared. She found the sword. That's the declaration. Right. She found it.
No, that system of government should be led by a person who found a sword in the lake.
I'm being repressed. Please understand that joke, or
not. Just leave.
No, yeah, please.
Just leave.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
You're welcome to stay. Just
Monty Python.
A little less respect.
Monty Python. Shout out to Monty Python for giving us that treasure. Anyways.
Yeah.
A lot of high-profile digs that happened actually where I was stomping around Spain, France, and Germany, Poland, Hungary, and the Mediterranean as well. There was an entire off the coast on the Dalmat coast, right off of Croatia and Albania. There was an entire intact Roman ship, merchant ship found.
Hey, merchants, hell yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We're talking straight wooden timbers still intact. Everything.
Damn.
It was the most impressive find they've found recently, and it had everything on board. They had the weight stones and stuff like that. They're really surprised on how it actually survived through the test of time, because obviously it's 2,000 years plus at this point.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Yeah, it was carrying grain from Africa and Egypt, probably. Mm-hmm. And it still has the grain pots all in a row on the deck, and apparently it must have hit a bad squall and gone down. Yeah. In apparently the best place to go down, because that whole boat was intact. So that was the most impressive one I knew off the top of my head. There's been a lot of hoard finds, actually, in Germany recently. Germany and Spain, where people are finding like hundreds, if not thousands, of Roman coins.
Yeah.
They're lucky. I never got that lucky. I got lucky enough to have coins, but
yeah, I've seen some of the stuff that you found. That I'm sure some of it's here and some of it's not here for the video, but you got some damn good finds.
I do have some damn good finds, but I'm sorry, I still don't have something like an entire treasure trove of coins and a pot somewhere.
They wouldn't be able to keep the whole thing anyway. The government takes most of it. Yeah,
a lot, most of it actually.
Yeah. So
if you didn't know, the treasure trove finding stuff like that. You usually we'll get a percentage of its worth, but most of that will be taken by the government and put in a museum or something like that.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
For the market
and
history.
It sucks. Like, I found this, I want to keep it, but yeah, you got to show it off. Everybody needs to benefit from the history.
Exactly. Everybody needs to benefit from the history, and to be honest with you, it is probably a better thing that it is going in a museum, because it doesn't enter the market, it doesn't devalue 10,000 coins of Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah, the two that you found are still worth as much as they were.
Right, so there's a positive to it.
I don't know if you found two, I'm just throwing that out there.
I found like 13 or 14.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Snobby. But, yeah. Pop that color, uh-huh.
Peasant.
Merchant, thank you.
What's a peasant?
It's not much better.
So that happened. Also around Switzerland and the French-Swiss Alps and stuff like that, they're same stuff with these glaciers, man. I gotta thank global warming for a little bit, if not something. The positive is that they're finding more and more ancient finds.
Yay, global warming!
Right. They found an entire, I wouldn't say entire tribe, but it was a group of Celtic warriors that were crossing the Alps, apparently frozen up there.
Yep.
This happened in about 2018, I think, like that. They all had their clothes on still. They had all their wood axes and spears. They had it all. All of it was preserved perfectly. And these people froze up there. They're guesstimating 10,000 years ago at this point. Like, it was way back.
Yeah. So
it was another impressive find. Basically mummified people. And that sounds gruesome, but
I mean, yeah,
you can find out. It's not guesstimating anymore. You can find out everything about those people, and that's the biggest thing in the history. We only just started understanding ancient things, ancient peoples, like the Dane axes. We didn't know. These were all guesstimates that we were running off of.
Yeah.
Paintings. If you ever see medieval paintings, they're very abstract.
Yeah. It's a good word.
Guesstimations and stuff like that. All sorts of stuff. Now there is the funniest find that I didn't find, but somebody near where I was metal detecting at. I was a part of a dig for I don't know, it was like a war grave or like a mass pit, mass burial pit for Roman on the Rhine riverfront. And somebody dug up a soldier's grave where they buried a bottle of wine.
Yeah, buddy. Let's go.
To that Roman.
Let's go.
Now the bottle of wine was full.
Well, yeah.
Was full and sealed still. And inside the bottle was the entire 2,000-some-year-old fermented wine that I'm pretty sure if you had a sip of, you would probably die.
I mean, I can think of worse ways to go out.
I don't know if you'd be tasting it. You'd probably open the bottle and it'd probably like...
Again, I can think of worse ways to go out.
But that was amazing. It was... We could actually trace how Roman winemaking to a detail and how it like perfected and how they went about it in the German Rhine front. So that was an amazing find. That was only 20 miles down the road practically for where I was looking about, where I found what I'll explain later is one of my more interesting, better finds. So
speaking of,
you want to get into it?
Let's get into it. I want to.
All
see
right.
It. I have a suggestion that we post up some close-up pictures of these along with the video.
Yes.
So you can actually take a look at them. Cause
we'll post up pictures afterwards. Yeah. I did bring a random assortment. I didn't bring all of them. If I brought all of them, we would be here for days.
Yeah.
And I would have stories for endless stories.
I don't think your phone has enough storage for a video that long.
No. I will go through my best dig, my craziest dig, my scariest dig. I do have a scary dig.
Now,
believe it or not.
Did you get the curse removed finally, or are you still cursed?
Yeah, I'll go into that in a little bit. The
All
curse of explosives.
Okay.
My scariest dig, probably my most memorable dig, and I think my funnest one. Unfortunately for my funnest one, I was supposed to bring the piece for that one, but I forgot. Unfortunately.
I'll forgive you this time.
Yep.
Just this time.
So, my bag of goodies.
The historically correct canvas tote bag.
It's actually linen.
Oh, so it is more historically correct. That's damn.
So, I have an Imperial Roman coin from Caracula's time. This one was dug up. I remember this one very well. This was dug up in Spain. Again, we will post pictures later. We're just going to tell the stories now, and then you guys can have a look-see at it.
Yoink.
The Caracula coin is a more later empire. The already good emperors were already gone at this point, but Rome was still hanging on there, still being the premier power of the world, regardless of it if the Golden Age had ended. Caracula's coin, this one here specifically, has a portion of degraded valued silver, in which they were mixing different materials in to basically save silver.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can see some tarnish on it, but not as much as you would expect for tarnishing for silver.
Right. This one was a very, very relaxed, nothing special about this dig, but it was still memorable to me because I thought it was like oh, look at what I found. Like,
I mean, yeah, I'd be proud of anything that I found, but this is cool as hell. The detail on these coins are ridiculous.
So this one was found in northern Italy. This is Roman Emperor Aulus, 136 AD. This one actually is the best looking denarii I've ever found. I know I have a lot of Roman stuff. I'll get to some medieval stuff. I brought a little bit of medieval stuff for you all. So this one actually was just fantastic. The writing on it is almost perfect. Wow. You can see Caesar imprinted on the top of it. Just looks magnificent.
Yeah.
Best looking coin I've ever had, probably, in the denarii side. I've also had a lot of other coin types, but I have to categorize all of them.
It's interesting looking at the process of making these coins, how they're broken on the side because the stress fractures from making
imprinting.
It. Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop.
Oh, and we're having a moose visit us.
This is the moose pooch.
Bye, moose.
Marcus Aurelius. I'm just going to go through it, as I said. This one was interesting as well. This one I found a Roman Republic coin in Spain.
That'd be neat.
Yeah, Roman Republic as in before the Empire and before the Emperors. So this one has a lot more chariots and Roman deities on it, which is more interesting, I think, than some of the Emperors sometimes. This one was a good find.
Oh, wow.
And then
Yeah.
here's my big chunker. This one actually was a very good dig for me. So this one was in Germany, and it's very black. You can't really see it. But this one I found in a farm field, and the metal detector was going ape shit.
That thing is heavy.
It thick.
Like,
It thick.
Comparing to the size of the coins here, like that thing is heavy, and it's at least 3 times as thick as that one. It's got some beef to it.
So I got this one. I hit it out in the field by Trier. Trevorum is the old ancient name for it on the Rhine riverfront near Mosel, the Mosel region. And this one was weird. So I hit it with the scanner or with my detector, and it came back to me like, "Hey, this is a lot of copper.
It's a thing.
A lot of copper." I'm like, "Copper? Okay." I got excited. So I dig up this disc.
Yeah, disc is a good word.
Disc,
Like
chunky disc,
miniature hockey puck.
and it was caked, just thick.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, wait, did I just dig up farm equipment? Like, whatever. I was kind of like disappointed about it. I threw it in the bag, and I was like, whatever. I'll have a look at it when I get home. I cleaned this thing off, and you can't see it, but I will show you a picture of it.
Yeah.
The detail on this thing started popping.
Oh!
And I was sitting there, it was like, it got better and better and better. And I was like, ooh, holy shit.
Ooh!
Holy shit.
Ooh!
By the time I cleaned it off, it was probably one of those more, like, one of those digs. You're just like, yeah, like, this is the best. I didn't realize that was that dig until after I got home.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got more coins here. This one is really interesting. This one was dug up in the Middle East. I can't really say where, but it is a Royal Scythian coin.
Somewhere over there.
Somewhere over there.
Over there.
This one is a Royal Scythian coin that I just found. I wasn't detecting. I wasn't looking. I was just looking. I was
look, there's a thing.
Yeah, I was sitting there next to a dirt pile, and I was looking at the dirt pile, and I was like, what's that disc? It was the same thing with that coin. I was like, what's that disc-shaped thing? And I like picked it up, and I was like, I threw it in the bag. Cleaned it off, and I was like, oh, that's a Royal Scythian coin, which is actually extremely rare for the area I was at. So I was elated.
Yeah.
Elated on this find. So that one was there.
Keep them in order so we can add the pictures
easily. Augustus Caesar. It's just people galore, right? So, as I said, I was an archaeological dive master.
Yeah.
I did get to go to a lot of digs on the sea and the Mediterranean, and one of my favorite ones, most memorable ones, absolutely, was diving the ancient port of Kurion off the shore of Cyprus. It's a completely submerged port. We're talking like Atlantis level stuff, right?
Yeah.
All the warehouses have since receded into the sea. The breakwaters for this port were still in the water. Like, you can't see them, they're below the water now. And there's actually a lot of shipwrecks out from Roman shipwrecks around the harbor area. So when I got to go out there, all I found was it was like just wall. You could see on submerged walls. They're barely distinguishable, but you notice they're in straight rows.
Yeah.
And then you would come across rows of pots, broken pots, and the coral was growing up around them. And we did a huge dig around there, just looking at all this and mapping out the harbor. And we found this massive, extensive harbor, like layout,
right,
chilling just off the shore. You would have never noticed it was a Roman harbor until you just jumped in. Off the shore, instead of sand and rocks like the usual, the entire shoreline was littered with pottery pieces, like the clay pottery types.
Jeez.
And you're like, this is the I felt like I was discovering Atlantis.
Right.
It was so cool. I did get a bunch of other like wrecks off for Roman and Greek ships and stuff like that. And how you can tell they're Roman or Greek is because you come upon it, there's no wood left. All of that's gone. But you'll see rows of pots, or rows of marble, or rows of stone, or the weight stones put in certain like patterns. Yeah. That's how you notice. You'll see patterns on the bottom. You're like, that's a shipwreck. So that was my most amazing time doing this stuff.
God, that'd be cool.
It was so fantastic. I just spent days underwater there, just days, literally.
I'm not a fan of water like that.
I loved it.
I'm out.
I'm a fan of the sea.
Like
if I haven't told you, Poseidon.
Going
Poseidon's
down
my
there and
favorite.
actually seeing that kind of stuff, like that might get me over my fears. Like, damn.
And when we were fooling around and we were joking around, you'd always the little pufferfish, little bulldog pufferfish would come up and swim up to you, and you could just play with them because bulldog pufferfish for some reason are playful. So you'd be sitting there playing in the sand, and a little pufferfish would come up and play with you, and this is all while we're sitting in an ancient Roman port playing with little pufferfish.
It's gonna be the most surreal thing ever.
It was like playing. It was like me playing with like. It was like playing with cats underwater.
Yeah.
Little cats, little cats. They didn't puff up or anything. They weren't stressed. They were actually coming to us. We'd be sitting there playing with the sand. They would come up to us and be trying to nibble on your fingers and playing with your fingers.
Like, how do you describe your day? You get home after your day at work and
just
like, hey, how was your day? Well, I only had 37 pufferfish come play with me while I was digging through ancient Roman ruins. Could have been better.
Could have been better, bro. So rough. I think I'm gonna go drink a bottle of like Cypriot wine and eat lamb. Darn.
All right, that's enough. Don't have to rub it in.
So,
jeez.
My scariest. Oh, look, another one. This is actually my medieval. No, is that my medieval one? Yes, it is. So my scariest dig happened in Germany, and although this is a replica, it is not the actual thing. Thank God.
Yeah.
It was one of those days
That's
where
fair.
you're digging, and you come up with a hit for iron, right? Your metal detector hits for iron. You're like, okay, cool. There might be an iron artifact.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a million different things.
Right.
The only way to find out is
To dig it up.
dig it up.
So I start digging. It took me about maybe 10 inches, not even, a little bit less. And the thing I come up on the top of was this round disc. I was like, is that an iron coin or an iron medallion?
Yeah, what?
And then I started going around the side of it. I was like, oh, it won't come out. And the side of it kept going down, and I noticed it's not a can. It's it's a cylinder.
Oh no.
It's a cylinder.
Oh no.
And I keep going. I was like, I'm not sure
no.
about this. The entire cylinder of this was rusted out, and finally I get to the wood shaft that's attached to the cylinder.
Yeah, that's
Hold on. The wood shaft of the cylinder surprised me. I was like, what is this? Possibly could be. And like, why does it have wood stuff? And then it dawned on me as I'm pulling it out to eye level and looking at this thing. And only did I realize, it actually scared me so bad, I did an oopsie and I just like, and threw it at the ground.
No!
It scared me so bad, I just took it,
You got scared and did the worst thing you can do.
I threw it at the ground thinking that was going to make the situation better than I just dug this out.
No.
Full-on German World War II hand grenade, style hand grenades. You can find these things throughout the countryside, depending if you're unlucky enough to find them. And they're temperamental now because they've been under the earth for
really
almost 80 years.
Yeah.
The explosives in these bad boys are temperamental at best. And after all that time under the ground. So when I pulled this up, I literally threw it at the ground in front of my feet. And, well, I'm here. And I'm not maimed. So that tells you that...
So that's... What's going on in your face that's normal?
That's my mother's fault.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
She's a lovely lady.
Okay.
Yeah. So essentially, I sat there freaked out, and I kind of like fell on my ass and fell down a hill and fell down a cliff. I kept falling. Eventually, I stopped falling, and I kind of ran back to my truck, called the bomb squad up, and the German bomb squad came out and disarmed it. I had another story just like this. I was digging near mines, and I came up on a huge iron contact. Huge iron contact. Right by mines. If you don't know what mines is in Germany, it's an industrial area.
Yeah.
It's an industrial area. And Americans love to do what to industrial areas in Germany during World War II?
Blow the hell out of them.
Right. So I came across this huge contact, and sure enough, I started digging off the top, and it only took me like 5 seconds until I realized I dug off through the top of a 500-pound bomb.
Woo!
Needless to say, bomb squad came again and disabled the 500-pound bomb. And I got lucky and kept the tail of this device because they popped the tail off to
disarm it. Yeah.
It sits in my house as a kind of like a
Like an
coffee
end
table. Yeah, like an end table.
That's cool as hell.
And it's funny because you look at the inside of this bomb, and some smarty pants, before they decided to mount it to the plane, didn't arm the bomb.
Oh.
The pin to arm the bomb is still in the mechanism in the tail, and every time I look at it, I was like, so this bomb takes off lid is still unarmed. So
that's gotta be a decent conversation piece in your living room.
It always gets everybody going, like looking at it like,
is that really
is that bomb? Yes. It's not the whole bomb. It's not the whole bomb. It's not the whole bomb. It's just the tail. But all right, last discovery. Very, 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 very. Well, actually, I'll do two more. One more World War II one. When I was in Spain, I was trying to look for Nova Carthaginian remains for a city that was supposedly near something, our village. And instead, I came up with a very interesting find for a pre-World War II nationalist soldier's belt buckle for Spain. If you guys know about the Spanish Civil War before World War II, this was kind of an interesting find for me. So, nationalist Spanish forces buckle. So that was an interesting one that wasn't intentional at all.
That's super cool.
This one is my proudest find. As you know, my persona, it's either Polish, both Polish and Hungarian. I do Roman too, but for this one, I'm dressed up for either Polish or Hungarian. I did a dig off of Austria and Hungary, and back in the day, the Habsburgs and the Hungarians, when the Hungarian kingdom was in existence, they didn't get along too well.
Really?
Not well at all. So they kept getting in spats and kept fighting each other. But I went to the reported battle site for one of these areas, and I came across, this one is amazing. You can still see the writing on it. A personal Hungarian cross with writing on it. And this one, I'm putting this one at about, for the battle, 1200 to 1100 AD. One of the earliest examples of possibly Hungarian Christian heritage. This one is very special because this one popped up as a bronze or copper, and you can look on this and you'll just see the writing from that time imprinted on this cross. Very fantastic find for me.
That is so cool. I mean, you can tell it's obviously handmade, but man, it's good.
It's very good. I was very, very, very excited for it. I don't know if a jewelry maker made it or just some Hungarian dude was just making some. The craftsmanship on the cross itself and the writing on it. The writing on it has the family name of it. I can't really make it out. It's very hard.
I'm guessing the letters on them were actual letter stamps because they're so good. Everything else looks like it was hand stamped in, but the letters are near perfect.
Right.
This is super cool.
So that will be it for my finds. Again, if we went on this, it'd be all day and it'd take forever and an eon. You guys would lose interest after an hour, and you probably lost interest some about this now. I'm excited about this. I thank you guys for actually bringing up this topic. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Thanks for the first suggestion. Absolute success, all.
I'm a big fan. I mean, I know history, but knowing and seeing are two different stories, man. There's like, when else am I ever going to get a chance to look at and hold these things? I mean, yeah, I can go to the Smithsonian and look at it through 3 feet of glass.
Or nowadays, you see the Smithsonian's doing those crazy things with the internet where you can view their inventory.
It's getting better, but nothing like holding it in your hand.
You look at it, it's just the presence of it. This is just like me when I'm sitting there digging, and it comes up in my hand. I'm looking at it like a piece of pottery, even something simple like that.
Right.
I'm like, there's nothing better.
Yeah.
You're touching thousands,
like real, actual, tangible history.
Right, and that gets me so excited for this kind of stuff. I love it.
I found some ancient Native American ruins down in Utah, Colorado, down in that area. Same experience, but not with the gravity of these, because the historical record for the time period that I was discovering, it's not really there.
Right.
So I can't really compare this to history books and what I was finding. I couldn't compare it to history books and be like, oh yeah, that's when this was happening and that was happening. It's just a pot. Like, it could be 1,000 years old.
It could be 100.
It could be a few hundred.
Yeah.
I have no way of telling because we don't have historical record. This kind of stuff with the historical record to compare it to, you can't beat it, man.
When the COVID lets off, I do want to definitely hit up some Native Americans. It's with permission. I am an ethical digger. I do not dig unwantedly or destructively.
Yep.
Just let's get this clear. I do respect everything, especially for history and archaeology. Like, I adore it, and I would never do anything to destroy, harm, steal, appropriate any of that stuff. That's not what I'm about.
No.
But I would love to get on some Native American digs. Since I'm back in America, it's about all I can do. But I have no experience, just like the Viking stuff. I wish I could have done it, and I do not want to bypass something like Native American finds.
Yeah, I mean, I can take you to the Native American finds. I know some that are on private land that are perfectly legal to dig through. They've already been, recorded and everything, and they decided to leave them as is. They're on private land. I know the owner.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't care. We can go up there and poke around and take one small souvenir apiece. Just don't tell anybody else where it's at, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't know. You got anything else you want to discuss? I'm excited about this. I could go on for days, but
I'm just grateful for you pulling them out and showing me again and showing everybody, because it's not a thing you get a chance to see every day, or ever. I'm super grateful. This is cool as hell, and I'm gonna have some fun taking pictures of all this stuff so we can add it up on the video. Yeah. This would be super neat.
All right, all.
Yeah, again, more suggestions for what to do next time. If you want to see more of this crap, shut up. You know I don't mean crap. More of this stuff.
He's gonna get fought after this.
It's fair. It's gonna happen anyway. I might as well deserve it. But if you'd like to see more of this stuff, if Joe's willing, we can do more of that. If you'd like to see something else, let us know.
Anything historical wise, I can go into almost any topic. Even if it's something obscure and I don't know, I will do the research and have a look at it. I love history.
Yeah.
Just give it to me. I will give you any topic or any place that you want. Name it. And I will try to get you the best, what I think on it. Now, everything is conjecture, so everything is also thoughts, right?
It's our opinions, our conclusions on the evidence presented. That's the best we can give you. That's the best anybody can give you. If they tell you otherwise, they're wrong.
But with that, thanks everybody.
Bye guys.
Cheers again.
Let's go.
See y'all next time. Kill it.
Kill it with fire.